heroes in particular. We saw yesterday, right, where the Tiny was played. Well, we firstly saw the Bristle into the Queen of Pain with Dark Margot, and that lane didn't go very well for him. And then we saw the Tiny in the following game, and he had a much better performance. So
yeah,
let's see if it's going to be similar here for PP.
Oh, good dead shot. Yeah.
Is that actually a kill? I mean, he will be able to push it back with the flame break. A little bit awkward.
If they can get the blood grenade on him, he could die, but
it's making it hard. Oh. Okay, yeah, they're going to get him. I mean, he ran very awkward pathing. Looks like Sven was probably going to be able to cut him off in the end, and they should have the slow. Another dead shot in a couple of seconds. It's going to be first blood. It'll take some time, so maybe helps Edge to be able to get a couple extra bounties, but it will be first blood that's picked up for the Omni Knight.
And that's a good start for the Omni. That's exactly what he's looking for to kind of start off the laning stage, so not bad at all. But yeah, the lanes are going to be really important, and the Queen of Pain is actually going for the Masochist Dagon build here. So it's not going to be that tanky, just get in there type of co-op we saw the other day. Which, honestly, I think versus Tiny makes a lot more sense. Versus the Bristle, it was a cool idea, right? Because it's sustain versus a hero that doesn't have as much versus the Shadow Strike, but in this matchup, I think you just want to punish the Tiny. You want to do more damage. And he doesn't really reflect much back to you. So, looks pretty good overall. I think Quap's job in this game is going to be try to assassinate this Bat Rider and the AA, specifically the AA.
Well, again, a lot of that then comes down to the Omni Knight with being able to grant vision, which is something you were mentioning before. So we'll see if Benjimon is able to have the assistance from the Omni, which of course then will help the Sven as well. But we'll start with the lanes. Yesterday, at least in our games, we saw the lanes were a massive factor to the success on whether teams were able to get that victory or not.
Yeah.
And
I think it'll be no different here. I mean, Dota's been a game for a long time where the laning stage is very critical. If you lose 3 lanes in Dota, no matter at what skill level you play in, you're probably going to lose the game. So you need to have a couple of these lanes going your way. And that's what the drafting is for. You should always be drafting a way where you have an advantage in at least one of your lanes.
already we are seeing some lane pulling shenanigans down bottom. Atali wanting to drag the way back behind the T2 tower. What is the read with this? Do you agree? Like, is this difficult early levels for the beast to play into the Sven and the Warlock?
In general, I think yes. I think the Bat Rider level 1 is pretty weak, so getting him some levels helps, because Fatal Bonds is just such a strong levels are honestly pretty garbage as Beast Bat.
Okay.
It's really that level 2 boar.
Okay, when you get the level 2 boar, so we'll see then. Lane will get shoved in, so maybe, of course, I mean, often happens with the Fatal Bonds. They have the small camp as well, importantly. Warlock's already unblocked this, so he's actually going to look for the full pull onto the next rate wave.
Alright. I mean, it's a terrible camp, though. That camp doesn't kill any creeps. It does 0 damage, so it just kind of messes with the lane equilibrium. You really want, like, the Ghoul Assassins or the Ghost. Poor little kobolds just do no damage.
Yeah, they're not very good. Well, top is still continuing to look very good for Pyke at the moment. 16 and 3. You see Omni Knight with the 10 last hits. But, of course, this is also another lane that is very shove heavy with the Snake. So maybe at least BSK is going to be able to find some experience. You probably wouldn't expect to kill, honestly, in this lane. So if Omni Knight has enough regen, should just be able to play off that.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing versus a Medusa, right? They Snake spam on top of, like, just a chilling touch with the Bone Chill Facet as a strength hero. It's going to add up, right? It's 2 ranged heroes versus a melee. There's only so much Hanzama can do here with the Morta. And that's another reason why this AA has gotten so much popularity. Once they added this Bone Chill Facet, people started to realize that AA is all of a sudden just a lane bully. Like, you have so much attack range with the chilling touch, right? And just naturally, this hero, for unknown reasons, is 675 attack range, and he has an ability on top of that that gives him even more attack range. That does bonus damage, slows you, and reduces your strength.
Okay. Kills right onto PP.
That's
He's going to try and TP in. Not really much the A is going to be able to do. I guess slows down Benjamin. Hang on a second. There is a lot the A can do. He didn't blink at all. And now Hanzama eats the toss damage, tries to pop the Fairy Fire, but he doesn't have enough left. It's 2 kills mid, and meanwhile, bottom, it's a disaster. You've lost 1. It does seem like Dynamo actually was able to even it out, so not that bad for them down bottom, but Edge, massive rotation for the Ancient Apparition, helping PP, who now gets another water rune as well.
I mean, that has to be like some qualifier nerves right there. He had blink up the whole entire time. The only way he dies there is if he just allows the cold feet to proc, which I'm sure if this is a pub, that would not have happened. So a little nerves kicking in here in this qualifier for the young guns here.
See what Benjamin's able to do, though. Maybe the first Sonic Wave can get him back into this game. Still the lane, at least last hits wise, has looked fine. He's opting for the max screen build, so no dagger.
It just, hopefully you don't tilt too much from that, you know, because I'm sure he knows that was just a silly death. And you got to be able to forgive yourself, right, for small things. But yeah, his the last hits are fine, but the net worth, unfortunately, he's the lowest of every core in the game right now. But not by a lot, luckily.
We do have the power runes coming up in a couple of seconds. We'll, of course, start to see supports venture towards the mid lane. No surprises there. Radiant are actually not bringing anyone, however, so this will heavily enable PP, which is very scary because he's got some pretty good side lanes to be able to gain to. Will be a read. You don't, okay, just yoinks it.
I mean, this game's going to start getting interesting because this Medusa has a Lotus, right? 2 mangoes, complete free farm. She's unkillable, and she's going to be, like, very, very difficult to kill. So this lane is now going to be a pretty much a non-option for them to try and gank unless they want to bring, like, honestly, their entire team. I think Sven has to make a rotation, so that really just leaves your choices to potentially ganking this Beastmaster, which isn't a bad choice, but it makes it a little bit obvious in this game. This Beast has to realize that he's the only one that's really gankable in this game, and he's playing Beast. This is a hero that he can drag waves with the boar. He can see us with boars when heroes are off the map, right? One of the better heroes to just kind of play alone and play safe.
And if really it's required, you can go back and farm the jungle. You've got a couple of stacks being made to double towards the far eastern side where that camp is. Nothing. Oh, there's also a double at the Ancients as well.
Yeah, a bat will keep stacking those up. Beast does like to farm them, but with the max boar build, it's not going to be an early clear for the Beastmaster. So, I mean, technically the Bat Rider could clear it too. I don't dislike that route sometimes. But level 6 Beasts on bot lane here, you've got to be really careful. If you get 1 or 2 more stacks here, I think the Primal Roar will come out, and it will.
They don't even need the rotation. Maybe anticipating some supports to protect Dynamo. That's not a bad Sonic Wave from Benjamin. It's going to be enough to get the kill onto the Bat. Now we'll turn to Vitali next as well. So the response is good. BSK's here. The Omni Knight feels it's required for him to also move down bottom, but this will be a rotation that doesn't pay off that much in the end. Not the worst, so, but a good response from ALLSTARS, keeping the most important people down bottom to help out, and that Sonic Wave also is massive for Benjamin.
Yeah, it was good. Luckily, he can just take the gate back top, and it's not... He's going to lose it a little bit for that rotation. They definitely over-rotated a little bit, but that's pretty normal for some of the less experienced teams. Learning how to just bring the, you know, the required amount of heroes and nothing more is something that takes time and experience to get used to, but I think at least they did respond. So they did get a couple key kills in return, but they did lose their Sven, so that doesn't feel great. Like, this is a lane where you're starting to struggle a little bit with Sven. You can go jungle now, but I don't think the pressure is going to stop now. Vitaly, he does now have his Helm with the Dominator. It is online. Domi has made a rotation, and we also have Tiny rotating in as well, so this lane just might be uninhabitable, as Sven, he cannot afford to die yet again here. Warlock level 6.
Golem. It's just the Warlock nearby, though. And apparently that's enough. So Golem having to be used defensively to get Dynamo out of danger inside the jungle. This tower will go down, so more of the map continuing to go Edge's way. They're wanting to respond on Radiant. Omni Knight once again is back down bottom. Vitaly is going to run into him. They've got the Roar if required to help get some separation. He's actually going to use it aggressively because PP has some spells to cast an Ice Blast across the map. Oh, that's huge. What an Ice Blast to start the game here. They should be able to chase Dynamo down. Another round of the axes won't connect, so Dynamo's able to slip away, but Hans Armor will not have the same fate. They do lose PP though nonetheless. It seemed like it could have been worse with how solid of an Ice Blast it was.
It could have been worse. You could have lost your Sven, but it's still an absolute disaster because they're using 5 heroes for every single one of these plays, right? And AA wasn't there. Sure, he had Ice Blast, but he was just farming mid. And guess who has been completely untouched this entire game? It's the Medusa, right? And your Sven's getting pressured. This is a matchup where if Dusa does get ahead, it does not feel great for the Sven. And this Dusa is massively ahead, 1,000 net worth over the Sven now in this early game. It's a hero that you can't really gank, but with all these rotations from the Omni Knight, his net worth is dropping, Sven's net worth is dropping. They have a couple stacks, it's not a lot, and you lost your bot tower. So if you're Edge, this is exactly the spot you want to be in. All 3 of your cores are farming. The only one that's suffering a little bit might be the Batrider. His levels are kind of low. He just got level 6, but it's still not a horrible timing for level 6. Still faster than the Morta, who's still trying to get that level 6.
So what do we look at if we're the Sven here? Like, to find a way back into this game, is there anything you can itemize differently? I know the hero doesn't have that much versatility.
The itemization's the same, but you might have to just participate in some of these like mid fights potentially here. But
speaking of one of the fights, Benjamin is able to get the blink away, protected from BSK, considering about getting some damage output onto PP, but there was going to be no extra follow-up, so pump fakes the Sonic Wave and defend that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I mean, Sven's definitely one of those heroes where if you get behind, you don't have many options, you know? You kind of just have to hope your team makes space for you to hit creeps. And maybe you can join a fight with God Strength if they dive a little bit deep, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, let's see if the dive is going to be there from Edge. I mean, they're ready to go pretty shortly. Suppose PP honestly isn't that farm for the Tiny, so it's a bit late of a Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
And of course, it's way too early for Michael to have one, but we've seen what they've been able to do even without these initiation tools. They're still playing quite aggressive with the 6 kills.
There'll be a little bit of time for Sven, but all this small amount of time that Sven gets right now, Medusa has had for the past like 8 minutes. Her farm is also incredibly fast. She almost has a Manta. I wonder when Pyke is... I wonder what build he's going to go first of all. Because there's a couple options you can have. One is just, you know, go for the classic Butterfly. The other one is you can go for like a Mjolnir into the Aghanims just to have like lots of spread damage. So we'll see what he goes for, but I think for Sven, Butterfly does make a lot of sense here.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, like, what is actually Pyke's biggest concern this game that maybe he needs to fix with the itemization, if that's the way to do it?
Well, it's just going to be mitigating as much damage as possible, right? That's the main job of a Medusa. And there's lots of damage sources, right, from ALLSTARS here. You have like a lot of physical from Sven, but at the same time, there's pure damage coming from the Omni, from the Sonic Wave, or the Butterfly is not really going to help out too much. Got a lot of magic damage coming from like the Warlock and Morta. So, yeah, I don't know what his biggest issue is going to be, but I think just Sven is always going to be great to have a Butterfly against. This hero does not like buying MKB, and especially not anytime early. So, and Medusa is a Butterfly enjoyer as like the first item after Manta, so that'll solve that problem. And yeah, he kind of queued it up. Okay, so he's going butterfly into Scotty. So this is just standard Medusa build.
Okay.
It's like this is the safe build where you're building pretty defensively, but you'll still have decent damage output. I'll call this the tanky build.
Sure. Okay. Which I guess kind of, like you said, does the best of both worlds, right? You're concerned about pure damage, so what are you going to be able to do? Butterfly doesn't help there. Maybe let's just tank ourselves up.
Yeah, and Scotty's really nice now with the changes for Medusa. Just those extra stats instead of like the bonus HP it gave before. So definitely benefits from a little more damage. Is a lot more nicer than flat like HP and mana. More expensive though, but I don't think Medusa cares too much as she farms very quickly.
Definitely not this game. Top net worth. I'm going to see Edge look to try and make a play off the back of the T1 tower going down. So PP has the blink. They're going to angle towards bottom where maybe Hanzama will run into this. Oh, Benjamin actually blinked aggressively in. Okay, gets the kill, but the rest of the team were far away because they're actually doing a U-turn and going to mid instead. They saw the Omni Knight, the remnants of that tier 1 tower, and they're licking their lips at a freebie for the offlaner. So, of course, you do lose your 4, but this is an opportunity now for them to invade into the triangle. What an important position for them to be in as well. You know, the Sven wants this area to be his home, so maybe it gives them an opportunity to block some camps if they want to, get some wards down, or even farm the area at the minute mark.
And Pyke finishes his Manta, and he's taking a more aggressive approach, right? Like, he could just be farming his triangle, right? But he realized if he starts farming their triangle, it's essentially the same farm he's going to get. But he's also taking it away from Sven. So this is a very good move to kind of like use your advantage to shut down the enemy's farm. Otherwise, it would just be a 50-50 trade. And when you're this far ahead, you don't want to trade. You want to shut down what the enemy can do. And you can see Sven, this is not the ideal spot to be farming right now, but he's going to have to do. And I think straight into Roche. We do have the Helm of the Overlord available. And because they took over that triangle, they're very confident now that they can just get a free Roshan, and that would be correct. They are going to get it. And meanwhile, Batrider, he's not even there. He's just going to finish up his Blink Dagger, but it doesn't really matter. There is no contest to be had.
Probably have to imagine that Radiant are looking to avoid this Aegis, right? You just try and play the side lanes and not take a 5v5 yet?
Yes. I mean, I say that reluctantly because, like, that's kind of been the state of the game anyway, right?
Sure.
So, like, the Aegis doesn't change it a lot. All it does is allow Beastmaster to play even further up in the opponent's face. So you do have to dodge, but this is 100% one of those games where a Medusa can walk high ground and you don't have answers to it. Like, the only thing you have is upheaval, I guess. Everything else is really heavily committal. Like, Omni has to commit his body. So does the Sven. And the Quap has to commit herself as well. There's no spammable spells. There's no Ags on the Quap yet. She is working on it. But that'll be something that will help a little bit with these high ground defenses. So they need this Ags Quap ASAP.
And unfortunately, she's under an Observe Ward, and they're starting to move over towards her location. Benjamin, there's the blink reveal with the lasso. PP's going to be nearby for the follow-up chain control. And they will make sure it is perfect. No hope of a blink away, and that Scepter will continue to be delayed for the mid lane here from ALLSTARS. They might even lose some heroes mid. Some of the supports are starting to venture a little bit out of the protection of that tier 2 tower. Looks like they're fine, though.
Yeah, and that's how far away they are. Far ahead, by the way, they are. I would like to see ALLSTARS make a move instead of, like, farm like that, because they TP'd bottom on Pyke. He literally TP'd bot. Your first reaction to that should be go as 5 and fight the mid, right? Because there's no Medusa in that fight. Instead, you're allowed to be incredibly greedy on Edge, and you can make a 4 versus 5 play here. But it's not 4 versus 5 because ALLSTARS didn't even show any heroes. So they've got a free pick.
They're taking the contact early before the Queen of Pain has also joined them. BSK's gonna try and give them the information, so maybe it can help the Sven get the jump. Dynamo's going for the long wrap round, finds the ancient apparition, but instant PP, toss into the stone gaze, nice spell casting. They will ruin this Sven's team fight. Sonic Wave is there. It's not a bad amount of damage with the fatal bonds, but it seems like they're playing with too large of a deficit. PP will still go down. Benjamin's able to get the blink away as well. I mean, you see the game plan from ALLSTARS, trying to do as much as they can to help the Sven and Benjamin as well, with the vision helps him spell cast in this team fight and make it somewhat of a decent trade. Now, Benjamin maybe blinked a little bit too aggressively then, and yeah, they're going to be punished for that. Lasso is there with the help of the Hawk. Down goes the clock.
It wasn't too bad, to be honest with you, but I'm afraid these fights aren't going to get any easier because Butterfly is done with Medusa, and Medusa's damage output in that fight was pre-Butterfly. Like, this hero actually has very pathetic damage until she has about, like, 3 items, and she only had 1 in that fight, so that going well is nice, but it's only going to get harder from here on out unless you can somehow find a way to isolate this Medusa and kill her. Maybe you can save her for last. That is a potential. And that's what they tried to do, but this Agnum Scepter on Quaff, it's still being pushed back. All these fights, she is dying in. And I think they're going to need that one. They need to take these long, drawn-out fights. And we saw the Omni in that fight. He tried to go in. He tried to make a little bit of space. But it wasn't enough. He just got roared in the face, right? So he's now shifting towards an Agnum Scepter, which makes it a global cast range and hits buildings and gives health regeneration. Okay, so not the greatest for AA, but I guess the cast range is helpful. Just making it global.
I guess we'll see if he doesn't die, though, to the rule, like we just saw previously. He's also under this defensive observer board that Edge have. Michael's going to go back. This will be a free kill. Needs to hold the stuns until Pyke is here, and the Ice Blast flies across the map.
He's fast.
Pretty goddamn speedy, though, but... Let's go.
Yeah, the wandering waters makes you very speedy if you go the right direction. Keep wanting to call it Raging Waters because that's like the name of a water park nearby me.
I mean, they both work. It's fine. Raging Waters, it's good. Wandering Waters.
One of them's correct, one is not. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's fine.
People understand.
Yeah.
Raging Waters, maybe it's better.
I mean, have you been?
Well,
probably not.
No.
Haven't been. Well, LA, it's a great water park. Lots of fun.
We don't have the Raging Waters. We have some decent other water parks, but
yeah,
nothing like that. Gem as well for AF. Okay, love the call. Tormentor also is going to be claimed. The map is going to continue to shrink. Edge will get the Ag Shard over towards Michael, and we'll see. Would you like to see them posture still aggressively while waiting for that next Roche, which is probably the high ground push for them, or are you fine with them just kind of playing on their side of the map, Edge?
I think what they're trying to do here is not necessarily play on their side of the map, but they're trying to catch heroes splitting, right? With Tiny, with Batrider, because they realize that's kind of what you need to do. And outside of that, I'm okay with this all the way up until Scotty. Like, I think once Medusa gets this Scotty and level 20, that's when you can kind of go anywhere you want on the map. But I think that timing is also going to just align with Roshan respawning. So right now I think it's just a pick-off game, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're just going to find freebies on their side of the map, because what else can you do is ALLSTARS here. You can just, you have to split push. There's no other real option.
They will try and defend their high ground. Dynamo with the jump in. Vitali's able to get the roar at the last second. Glimmer Cape, and he's fast away. BSK will solo kill Michael on the other side. But you did commit God Strength along with the Warlock ultimate. You're hoping that you get a couple more kills out of this, and that will be the case with Yanamo. Still inside the river. Do they actually want to go back in with the numbers disadvantage? Dynamo still without the BKB gold. It's the Omni to try and help him. He's actually thinking about turning it back around. Pyke doesn't have the Scotty just yet. is level 20, however.
Yeah, this is not great
Meanwhile,
for them.
BSK on the back line, running Vitali towards the opposite direction. They're doing a pretty good job at avoiding the Medusa at the moment. Stun to try and hold her into place. PP as well has got another round of spells in a couple of seconds, but it's not soon enough. This fight looking okay for Radiant until it's a big combo. They just jumped in, lined up on anyone. Deuce is still in a little bit of danger, but where's the final bit of damage going to come through? Maybe the support Mueta. She's going to be able to do it by herself with the right clicks, but everyone else is probably going to go down in the end. Omni just has to disengage and hope he'll be able to survive, and that will be the case. He'll live to tell the tale, but PP gets the double kill in the end for the boys on Edge.
Ron Zama got so much out of that. He is now level 15, higher level than his offlaner, because he just essentially got a solo kill on the Medusa. No one else was around. He just finished him off. Most farmed hero in the game, most leveled hero in the game. I don't know how much that is going to help you too much. It's just going to push you a little bit closer to that Ag, which is going to be nice for defending high ground and just team fights in general. But I think for Edge there, they really got punished. They were trying to fight yet again outnumbered, because it's been working for them this entire game so far, right? But this one time ALLSTARS finally punished it, and they brought all their heroes while the Tiny wasn't there, and more importantly the Medusa wasn't there. So they still thought they could fight even after the AA died, after the Bat died, after the Beast died. They tried this like 4 versus 5 engagement, or sorry, 2 versus 4 engagement, I believe, and it didn't really work out as the Medusa, she was so close to Scotty, right? She had an ultimate orb and just a couple more creeps and she would have had Scotty, but she does have the Scotty now, and this death hurts. This one is very, very expensive. That's 50 seconds and one.
Just one death. It's going to be another. They're going to bleed. 999. Vitali's also hoping he can catch up to someone else, and he might be able to do so with PP. They are just bleeding kill after kill. And they might be close enough to potentially walk high ground and get some poke damage in. The ultimate will delay the inevitable in the end. 3 for nothing.
Yeah, that's rough. That's not what you want to see. You're gonna have to force a glyph for this one. You have to make a choice. Do you want to go high ground? Luckily, they are low level, so I think they will be up before you lose a barracks for sure here. I don't like the prospect of them staying too much longer here. Maybe you can get a barracks, a little greedy, but you don't have roar, you don't have lasso. But they don't care. They think range barracks it is, and all right, they don't want to mount a defense here, even though there's no spells available. So they'll just get it for free. Medusa's a little bit strong.
Do you like the diffuser into dispersal from Pyke? Actually, we might not have a moment. Looks like they're going to smoke off from ALLSTARS. Have they got any wards? They do. So one will catch them retreating down to the stairs to move towards Roche. They've only seen Michael at the moment. Pyke still playing pretty far forward on the front line. Not the target they want to go for. All or nothing on the Medusa. Doesn't sound like the play. They're still going to attempt it. PP does a great job to be able to stall the backline. Deuce has been able to stone gaze and retreat away. Quap's in trouble. Benjamin controlled with the lasso. Dynamo BKB last second, but he just doesn't have the net worth to be able to fight the Medusa. It's just not going to work. They held the roar as well. That was still available to the last second. Edge have only lost 1. Meanwhile, inside the river, they've also been able to deal with the Omni Knight. BSK was surrounded, and Vitali should be able to get the Mueta with the assistance of the Hawk. It's a 5 for 1. They can do whatever they want afterwards now on Edge.
Yeah, it's just a little tough at this point in the game. Like, it's hard for them to find a full commitment on the hero they want. Like, yeah, they killed the AA over the Sven, but the Ice Blast was already used, right? And the longer these fights go, unfortunately, this Medusa, look at her net worth, man. It's it's just too much right now for them to deal with. So it's just unfortunately a little bit too late, and they needed to try something at some point, but perhaps you do wait for your high grounds. It's really a tough call because they wanted to fight the Roshan, and because that was a team wipe, they decided Roche can wait. Let's just go ahead and go for another set of barracks here, as they do take out mid, go for bottom, but they are now pinging that potentially they're going to go for the Wisdom Shrine, and Roshan is going to be on the top lane for the next minute and a half. Plenty of time to kill it if they want to do that, or they can just set up bottom. And I mean, Disperser, to get back to that point, it's pretty good this game, yeah. I mean, it does give you move speed. It'll get you out of Upheaval, out of the Shadow Strike. If you do get silenced, for example, by the Muerta, it can get rid of that too. You can use it on your allies to help them get out of the danger too. So there's a lot of things you can dispel that will kite you in this game. And just in general, the item's good on Medusa, right? It gives you agility and intelligence, two stats that she does very much so enjoy.
Gonna run into multiple heroes. They'll have to roar forward as well. Where's the Omni Knight? He's down on the low ground. He's got nothing to be able to help Dynamo out. He's got a turn to deal with the Medusa, but we saw what happened last fight. You are not killing Pyke. You can try and drop all your spells and all your right-click damage, but that's not going to work out. Pyke is an absolute monster. And so to all the Edge boys as well. It's an ultra for the Medusa, and they're going to walk it down and close this game out. It's a pretty easy game one victory for them.
Yeah, I mean, the Sven, right? It's already a little bit of a tough matchup into Medusa, but you're playing against a Roar and a Lasso, right? So this is a very, very, very difficult Sven game when it does get to this stage. Like, as we saw in the draft, like, this had very, very small windows for this would actually work. That's why I said the ease of execution was not there for this draft. You have to do some crazy stuff to make this one work, and a lot of it did have to do through the laning stage, but laning stage was a disaster, to be completely honest with you. Like, this Sven, he got shut down incredibly hard just by the rotations that Edge was continuously doing on this.
You see, like, Ricky coming through the portal and trying to tri-lane, or at least I should say gank through maybe some of the later levels inside the lane. Do you try and go jungle early? Like, how do you try and get Drow out of this really dangerous period?
I think you're good in the lane until level 6, right? When you get level 6, you just probably can't lane anymore. So if you get a huge advantage in the early game just by, you know, being a better laning team, that'll help. And outside of that, I think mid rotations might be necessary this game. This is where I would have liked the Pango to go mid, because Pango could easily just go mid and then rotate top, right? And that'd be insanely easy to do. But there's going to be an engagement here.
Oh, it's a big shield crash. Only have a couple of heroes at the moment. Yodomi actually was nearby. It was on the opposite side, but no, there was 4 heroes to be able to protect Edge, and they did not want to run up into the high ground, even with the 5-man from ALLSTARS. So they'll just run the opposite direction, go back and control their own jungle, probably try and look for an even 2-2 split.
Yeah, I mean, a 4-man shield crash is a little too much to chew through, right? That's a 200 damage barrier for Pango.
Yeah, under the Observer Ward, so
Alright, we're gonna try
some pretty
again.
good information to play with this time. Vitali got his shield crush actually blocked, I believe, from the torrents. Not going to matter though, because the fight will occur over the right side. Michael is the one to be the first casualty of this game, and ALLSTARS looks like the second attempt was able to work for them with getting the kill.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little crazy they're trying to fight these engagements early, because their heroes, like, what does Ricky even do? You know what I mean? The Pango is pretty good, but, like, same with DP, Ringmaster, there's only so much they can add to these level 1 engagements, and they're fighting outnumbered. So either way, that's a first blood for Benjimon here on the mid lane Leshark. Absolutely ideal for him. But meanwhile, on Zama, he's just dead.
Okay.
Just killed at level 1. The Bedlam just not on point, and they seize that opportunity with the blood grenade and the impalement art, and gets punished for it. These are the kind of deaths that hurt, yeah. Well, it's help or hurt. Depends on which side you're on.
Yes, that's the thing. Depends which side we're talking about. But if we're speaking about the Drow, you know, being concerned about getting out of the, or at least being in a position where around the level 6 you have the lead, and well, that is without a doubt going to be able to assist with that early kill. She doesn't get the gold, but will be a little bit of experience, a little bit of the assist gold going her way. Not the worst.
A lot of space, right? And also you have to keep in mind that this Kunkka was forced to go for Torrent at level 1, and he's out of position. Another dart, a Tame the Beast, and he actually went X. Well, Worst goes to horrible for this top lane.
What did he X? Wait, what happened?
He used X on the Yadomi. They tried to kill him, but this is now just a lane where you do not have Tidebringer. Your chances of winning this lane have went from 50% to 0. It's actually just a disaster. Like, I was afraid how this lane would go, but if the lane starts like this, all right, they're gonna go on Yadomi here. Maybe they can get a kill on him.
Best.
Dude, he's got...
Maybe there'll be a trade, but yeah, he's got his souvenirs. He's got a whoopee cushion as well if it is required, but it's not. So he'll keep that one for the next time. And has he got a TP on the Dark? Okay, he does. It's back up, but still, it's another death though, so...
Not only is it another death, it's also 2 CS on Conk.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He'll get another one there. 3 to his name.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. I don't want to look top anymore. Yeah, bottom lane.
You might have to actually. I think we got another.
I'm closing
kill
my eyes. I don't want to see this.
God. No, you got to be happy. It's a Dark Willow that's dying. I feel like you would enjoy this. True. Michael bottom lane. Tricks of the trade. As soon as he pops out, the blood grenade's got to hit him up in the face. Vitali should crash up in a couple of seconds. Unfortunately, will not be able to continue to fight against Dynamo. I don't have the glimpse, however, to send him back, so Vitali's going to be fine, but they do get the kill, put a lot of pressure on with the Metamorphosis.
I mean, you're right in that regard. Dark Willow dying does make me happy. There's 2 heroes in Dota that I love to see die. They're both position 4s. Can you think of another position 4 I might hate if I hate Dark Willow?
Oh, I don't know, dude.
Right. I got you. It's Hoodwink.
Okay.
But that's when Hoodwink was OP. Just the low skill position 4s that do way more damage and win the lane for no absolute reason I hate. And those are 2 of them. Hoodwink meta.
That hero in the lane was so insane. That was so insane, actually.
Yeah, it just wasn't fun. Like, my position 5 just got first blooded every game. Just 1v1. And then I'm just 1v2. I hate that hero.
So you don't have to deal with the Hoodwink, but you got to deal with the Dark Willow, unfortunately.
Yeah, pick your poison.
Nice Bramble, but still Yadomi is going to be able to land some of the spells. Torrent does hold back Pike.
Oh no, he died.
Enough though. They might even look for Hand's Armor as well. Okay, Shadow Realm. This ability is still being on cooldown. Looks like... Oh, I don't know, dude.
He's dead.
What? Yeah, what's going on top?
Oh, well, return kill? Maybe? The Impelment Arts misses, and can he get a deny here? That clutch. Nice.
Oh, no.
Nothing. You've got nothing.
Yeah, that was a streak as well that he would have got, a 4 streak. Good news about this game, right? The TB lane's doing great. And
okay.
Yeah, the TB lane. That lane's good. Mid lane's fine too. So, but however, the despair that is currently top lane. Yeah, not sure how to describe that one other than just that complete and utter despair.
Well, they might, with top going so well, it frees up Yadomi to try and play around mid. A little bit difficult to hit the Impelment Arts with how quick Benjimon is. For some reason, the catapult is just going to run up towards the tower. So it would have been nice to be able to get the timing of the EXO with that first catapult wave, but it will not.
All right. Okay. Looks like they're gonna collapse on mid lane because it's 6 minutes. They want to contest the first power rune of the game.
There's a big advantage with level 6 on PP, and Benjimon is so close to it. 8 experience is needed. Unfortunately, maybe the lack of damage here is going to be a bit of a problem. Benjimon, he'll be run down. Yadomi's not going to die out to the Edict, and they might look to move towards mid. PP before already kind of set up the wave with shoving it in, and he's a bit low on resources. It's not going to be that much damage into the tower.
Oh, that was an early glyph. Interesting. I think this is going to be a lot of damage to the tower, to be honest with you. They're going to get this to at least half, but with Leshrac coming back up.
Or can he TP back in like that?
He can, but will he be punished for it? Okay, no.
Oh, he's able to get the kill
he
at
just
least.
hit level 6
and he has
too.
6 now.
Yep. He's waiting for his edicts to get back, and then he could turn. So it was scary, but he survived.
He survived. He's okay, but I mean, it means that Pyke is once again absolutely free farming inside his lane. So the timing that we're concerned about, it's still going to come a little bit slower here from BSK with that level 6. He's lacking some experience, and bottom as well. You're fine. Vitaly didn't have anything to fear. Brees will earn a bunch of stats. He's about to have level 6 as well, so we could also see the Pangolier move top at the similar timing where Radiant are maybe wanting to put some pressure onto the Drow Ranger with the bow.
Yeah. I mean, believe it or not, the
BSK.
Kunkka and Pango are actually the same net worth right now. But that might change here, depending on how much damage they can go. The Admirals, oh, the dart missed. And we're
We got a roll. Benjamin.
got him.
Nice observer.
So that definitely helps. The big problem is right now, kind of like the carries are similar. Obviously, Pyke's a little bit higher because he's getting a lot of kills, but you're still free-forming on TB. That kill helps you out a lot, but this Leshrac, man, he had first blood. He is struggling right now. He is at the same net worth as pretty much Kunkka, who's had a terrible lane after that death there. And Pango's actually just opting to hold that thought.
Nice kill for them to find 4 heroes. They want to TP in, but they're trying to secure all the stacks they have inside their triangle. Disruptor's going to run the opposite direction to give Lesh a little bit more time to farm up, but PP wants to continue to contest. He's got Exo. I actually didn't see if he stole any of the creeps.
Negligible if he did. And this goes back to, like, what if this Leshrac killed that Drow and got that 4x streak, you know? Would that change the trajectory of this game? Potentially. Because Benjamin is struggling in this game. Kunkka TPing mid, he is level 6. But he's got 3 siphons
positioning is going
available
to be
here.
huge.
That's denied,
Whatever they can to try and protect him. It's a decent amount of damage at the moment, but the shield room's going to be activated, and the Lesh just disappeared.
Where'd he go?
Benjamin is feeling like a support Lesh, and 999 is going to be chased down into the tower. Blood Grenade, in fact, is enough to be able to get the kill. He might still be in trouble on Michael. Looks like he will tick out in the end to the damage. They still have the escape act on cooldown.
All right. I mean, they did get it denied, but the biggest issue we're really running into is here. Lesh is, yeah, he's a support, like quite literally. Like his timings are gonna line up with like a position 4 support Blink Dagger first. There's no world in which this Leshrac is gonna feel tanky, so he is gonna have to rush that Blink. I think that's the only item he can get in this position, but unfortunately Lesh has been this way for a while now. If you want to play it mid, it's this glass cannon type of hero where you just go in and you hope that you kill them before they kill you. And unfortunately in this game, versus the heroes you're playing against and how much net worth they have compared to you, I have a feeling that he's gonna die first in almost every situation before he kills them. And this Blink is kind of far away, so maybe they're gonna have to rely on some glimpses to... But Glimpse is only level 2 from this Disruptor. They pretty much have to bring one of these heroes straight into the arms of Benjimon and create a wall around him, but who can you even glimpse at this point? You're versus Pango, you're versus Ricky. Maybe you can go on the DP, but I think if you go on DP, you need Disruptor Silence up, and who's to say that this Ringmaster isn't just sitting behind waiting, right?
Yeah.
With this box, it's gonna save you from the combo.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? Where you have the save on Dire with, you know, something to combine with the Death Prophet, but Lesh is also very similar. Like, this hero really, really thrives when you have saves, and you do not have that on Radiant. So they're gonna give him the Ancients. It will help to get towards this Blink. They'll smoke Benjamin up.
Does he have mana for this?
I don't know. Uh-oh. Oh no, dude. Oh, and the Conker just yoinks half of it.
Yeah.
What can you do?
At least they killed the stack, I guess. But now he has
They are
absolutely
smoking top.
no resources to fight top, by the way, so.
put in a position to do so, though. Michael's going to be able to get away, tricks the trade, get some separation. Maybe we see some Dark Willow cheese as well. Get the magic here. Get some solo kills. To put some
Yeah, I mean,
across the map.
it's tough. The Dark Willow is kind of countered, right? The escape act, the 8% magic resist. I guess it's only 50 at level 1, but still, that's half your damage reduced. So he's not killing him. You're not killing Pango. DP, I mean, if she doesn't get a siphon off, I guess you can kill her. And Drow, well, you have the Gust, which is a nice little pushback, I guess.
Here's K. First wheel of the game from Yodomi with Pyke nearby. This case showcasing actually pretty tanky with the build. Does get one of the Lotus off, but unfortunately needed the second, and with the cooldown still there. Have enough health to be able to withstand the damage early on from the Drow. Yodomi is still not an easy kill as well with the help of the souvenirs. Has another one. The form of the Funhouse. Can he dodge it? Oh, got the vision for the glimpse back. Meanwhile, Pyke.
Oh. Okay.
Has he got to be worried? Benjamin? Okay, he's still without the blink, unfortunately, so wasn't able to jump over the top and maybe offer some threatening kill onto the Drow Ranger. He's going to have to go back, continue to farm towards his first item.
Yeah, if he had blink, Drow would have died 100%, but he will have it now. This is like his first critical item that he needs. But they do leave the X off. Okay. But
the Bramble's going to stop the roll. If they got the damage, Pyke, Strength Treads,
Bedlam
along with the
up.
Dragon Lance. And without the damage from the Bedlam, it's there now, but Hanzama's not going to get the kill. Meanwhile, down to the south, they're also chasing up to the Conqueror. It's 5 heroes from Edge. They bring everyone. They know how important it is to be able to keep Pyke alive, and they're going to be rewarded. 999 hunted down. And what a timing as well. You got Wisdom up in about 10 seconds here. Along with the potential... Oh, I thought he was going to get the deny, but tier 1 tower as well if they want it afterwards. Very nicely done from Edge. Pyke will stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, Edge know the game plan. You got to protect this Drow, and Pango, his timing was perfect. Like, as soon as the silence ended, right, from the Drow, the roll was there. So, if he didn't show up in that exact moment, Drow could have definitely... Well, Drow would have died 100% there, so... Good awareness or communication on what needed to happen in that situation there for Team Edge.
Okay, so a person we haven't spoken about in quite a while is the carry Dynamo here on the Terrorblade. 002 has had a very quiet game. How does he get involved? Does he even have the ability to maybe get involved? Do we want to see them smoke to him? Does he need to play on the opposite side of the map? Like, what is the call for the TB?
Well, they're gonna get him to smoke, but I don't think that's what he wants at all in this game. I think what he wants to do, or honestly needs to do, is just kind of predict where Edge is going and just be ready, you know? And once they dive a little bit deep, they're now initiating into a meta. That's kind of how TB likes to play. You don't really want to be part of these smokings at 15 minutes. This feels awkward. Like, yeah, you get a kill, use 100 spells for this, but now TB's just like, okay, I could have farmed like the whole jungle during this time frame, you know? I mean, it's fine, you know, don't get me wrong, you needed to make something happen, but I can promise you this is definitely not what TB wanted to do.
Yeah, what do you feel like another instance where we saw last game they were bringing... Oh, they get Michael as well. I was going to say another instance last game where we saw they were over-rotating to defend their safe lane, and then what, maybe another thing...
I think this Disruptor to get 1 kill and backing is going to be key here. But
thinking about maybe Peepy, but Peepy's got some heroes playing over the right side. Dynamo's on the outskirts, but how does the Terrorblade really look to enter? They've lost the Conquer, the boat on his dying breath, but that will do nothing. Everyone else does get away, but still continuing to bleed heroes and Dire. You know, Pyke once again is nowhere to be seen. Hurricane Pyke now completed, sieging T2 tower. The damage over time is going to be able to bring him down once again, though, with the Static Storm. We're continuing to see Vitali have a difficult time to be able to deal with this Static Storm as a response to him, and Dynamo will also help out with some of the damage in the meta. So not too bad. ALLSTARS do a pretty good job to be able to defend their own jungle and also kind of blocking Edge from getting down to bottom to combine with the Drow to put that pressure onto the T2 tower.
I mean, that's the exact play they needed to make, right? They used all their spells in the mid lane. Kunkka died for it, and they have to make a play to kind of defend that. So, really well done in that regard. I mean, the box was there, right? But we kind of see it was a little bit late, and it was never going to save a hero against Leshrac. And I guess we didn't really talk about it too much, but the pure damage of the Edict, right, completely negates the box's magic resistance that it gives you. So even if you go in the box, if you're alone and isolated, this Leshrac will still kill you.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And that's exactly what happened, is Disruptor steals a shield rune.
She gets purged off straight away with the Eels. Atali's going to look to try and move in as well. Go off in for a kill onto the Disruptor. Should be able to do it easily by himself. What's the call now for the boys on Edge? You have EXO up, but we're going to look for Roshan with the kill. Map is in a pretty good position for them as well with the Kree Wave.
Yeah, I think Roche is probably going to be the call. You don't really want to use EXO, but you could use it. I just don't think it's necessary because you do have Pango. The lucky shot will help a lot with this Roshan. Attack speed reduction, quite good, but they want to make sure they just get it. Agams is online for TP as well, so extra damage.
On mid lane, you dome it. Trying to make a solo play while the rest of the team is taking Roche. It's not a bad static storm, but the kinetic field was on cooldown, so they couldn't block them in. Now Pyke's going to be able to chase them down. Slows were there, helps Michael be able to leap over the top. So
They're keeping for Kunkka top.
Okay. Boy, really far forward. They got any stuns? Yours? Mike was there. Just gets in range to be able to stop the TP. And this will... Well, he actually just bought the raid instantly, so I was going to say we'll continue to slow down the radiance, but this was purchased Silver Lining.
Okay. I mean, the net worth lead, it's only 6,000. You still have a Terrorblade. That's great. I mean, you're a little bit behind on this mid matchup. That's about it. And by a little bit, it's actually quite a lot, but... It's just a Leshrac, right? Like, he just does damage and needs to stay alive. So, Ghost Scepter it is, you know? And Ghost Scepter actually kind of makes them invulnerable in this game, so...
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, Pango's role is physical damage. Drow's all physical. Ricky's doing physical.
EXO too.
Yeah, EXO. So, that item has insane value in this game.
That's
It
a really
might
cool
get to a
choice,
point... Yeah, it might get to a point where Ricky might need to go for a Nullifier instead of this Blink Dagger. Might be something worth considering. Maybe Pango will go for it, but I think a Nullifier on either Pango or Ricky could be really valuable. I mean, we're seeing a lot of like offlaners and mids and supports get Nullifiers now instead of carries because it just doesn't feel good to get a Nullifier on a carry on most heroes. And Drow is no exception. Like, would you rather have a Nullifier or a Butterfly on Drow? It's like a no-brainer.
Yeah. Pyke is a little bit split from the team, but are you really wanting to run the Aegis carrier? They're going to go the other way. It will give time for Edge to be able to set up a formation. And it seems like they're aware this is going on. Now, Vitaly is underneath the Observer, but it's pretty difficult. I'll go for it, so. Edge themselves, a counter smoke, BKB timing. Pyke's going to get this one delivered just before the level 18. They do have a ward inside the lane as well, so BSK. They're going to know he didn't run back, and he's going to continue to walk straight into Edge. Dynamo's nearby, but what is the Terrorblade really going to be able to do? Absolutely nothing, and maybe now puts himself in the firing line. Vitaly's going to be able to catch up to him, tries to get away with the Manta, but the chain control is perfect. Wheel of Wonder stops the Sunder, now the supports. They're next on the chopping block. A Shadow Realm will only delay the inevitable as Edge. Well, their smoke will work. ALLSTARS tried to make something happen, but not to be. It's a triple for PP.
That was Aegis BKB Drow you're fighting into. And these are not the fights you want to take if you're ALLSTARS. The ideal fight for you is the ones where they run into you, not you getting caught out in the middle of the lane. I mean, that's cool, I guess. I mean, he used his haste just to style on them, I suppose, for a couple seconds. I don't think he was planning to kill anyone there, but you got to be very careful there, because Ricky, if he did use his Yules, you're just dead on Lush, right? I guess that's the one dispel they do have, is Yulesing him.
Oh, Michael's frozen. Okay, just a Discord bug. I thought we lost him.
It's okay.
Back in a little bit.
He'll be back.
So, I don't know. This game was filmed like, yes, of course, Dyer had the lead for the entire game, but the net worth wasn't growing as much as I was expecting with the lead and the pressure it felt like they were putting on. But all of a sudden, like the last 5 minutes or so, when we saw the Aegis go down in that fight inside the river, the goal just has grown. Like before that, it was 4,000 lead. Now it's 13,000 just before they took Roshan. So
It's
we've
all
seen
about timings, really.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at Drow's items, like, she's at her peak. And if you look at Terrorblade's item, who has a lot of farm, but...
Triple nine.
He's dead.
We force up the high ground. BSK saw what happened to the Disruptor previously and felt like it would be a different story for him. Dark Willow, meanwhile, the wraparound though, Dynamo actually is in with the Terrorblade, but he doesn't have anyone to play with because Pyke and the helper Michael are stopping everyone from getting over to offer some assistance. Benjamin will go down. You just have no answer to the Drow. Aegis is not even going to be killed off. Dynamo can't even have a hope of getting the Sunder with a chain control from Vitali. And up the high ground, they're about to go on edge.
999 living up to his name with 9 deaths now. It's a rough one. But as I was saying before that broke out, I guess I don't even have time. Just death after death. I'm not sure what Dark Willow's even trying to achieve 1v5 there, but it's just one of those situations where you just sit in your fountain and just wait for your team, because, like, what can you possibly do by yourself? Absolutely nothing. Hopefully they don't continue to go one by one. Just wait 15 seconds. Everyone will be alive, okay? You're gonna lose your barracks. Make the call. It's fine. Barracks is dead. Oh, it's not even dead. Cool. Now you can maybe start throwing some X's and stuff as your team's respawning. Aegis is gone.
Too.
Yeah. But BKB is online though, so some amount of chain stunning has to happen. Doesn't, that's that. But anyways, I was thinking about timings. Like, if you look at Terrorblade's items, right? He has a lot of farm, but it's really effectively just a Manta and a Dragonlance, which compared to just like a BKB, Butterfly, Ags, Hurricane Pike, it's not much. And TB's net worth sometimes doesn't look great because you always buy the Shard, which adds to net worth, of course. So essentially, he's just not ready. I mean, it's just 10th death on Disruptor.
I thought Dynamo
Nothing to
was
see
nearby.
here.
Yeah, just another sport. You're probably happy with the Dark Willow as well. Your Dome is going to be able to catch him. Nicely done. Tali with the big nuke.
Yeah, those are some good heroes on killing a Dark Willow. A lot of ground targeted stuff on Pangolin, the Ringmaster. You love to see it. Or at least I do.
I'm sure a lot of people have this frustration with Dark Willow as well. It's okay. I think everyone also feels the pain. I feel watching the games as well. I know it's different when you're actually playing and you have this hero just chain controlling, you're solo killing, you're level 6, but... Up the high ground. Another siege. No Aegis, but you have Exo. Almost level 3 Exo as well.
Yeah, it's very nice. But what does your chain control look like? You have to start with a torrent? You know how hard that is versus Drow? Because if you don't torrent him into Lesh Stun, BKB is going to get off, right? And then once BKB is off, there's the torrent. And then there's a pullback. Okay. Well, he might have to BKB here soon. Oh, glimpse.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's
He can
BKB.
be after the glimpse and actually going to try and take a fight. So baited Radiant. And as a result, Dynamo, we've seen previously have a bit of a difficult time to be able to activate the Sunder. It might be that case once again.
Yeah.
Blown up, no hope for him. They thought there was an opportunity with the Pike, maybe getting glimpsed back, but PP actually, all right, PP goes down. Leshrac finally showcasing some of the raw damage output that we've seen previously from this hero and some other games. It's been a difficult one for him so far, but with the DP, but of course, you know, it's really just consolation. You lose another full set of barracks down bottom. Edge, they're going to back away, look to reclaim the enemy's triangle. Is Drow here? Support's a little bit vulnerable at the moment. Secondary kill. Michael been able to run into BSK inside the river. And Pike wants nothing to do with it.
He wants
Like
to
if
give
the
him a blink
supports can make
target.
it up, yeah, maybe we'll be able to find it. Okay.
Oh. Okay. I mean, those are definitely some nice kills for sure. Doesn't solve the underlying issue, right? And that will be solved in time, right? But the real question is, how much time do you have? Because this TB needs to itemize out of his problems right now, and yeah, he queues up a BKB, and doesn't feel good to buy BKB on Terrorblade, but he has no choice. He's just dying to a hero he should be countering in the Death Prophet, but talk about this Pango matchup, right? If you don't have BKB, this Pango is continuously chain controlling you, and if you can't just hold your ground long enough for the roll to expire, or the BKBs to expire, you're not getting your Sunder off. So, problem number one for him right now is to get his Sunder off, and BKB is the only way that he's really going to achieve that. But if you can get up to this BKB, then to a Butterfly, then to a Scotty, you know, then he'll be good to play, right? But bit of a pipe dream there with all those items I just mentioned. And
It's a long game.
999. Rules.
Any cancel? So the TP also, the Dark Willow apparently is caught outside the base as well. So a second support's going to feed their life and maybe offering an opportunity here for Edge to get this final set of barracks.
Like, I don't understand, like, what is the play there? Is he, like, trying to break his smoke? But, like, if you die there, like, you just lose your mid-ranks.
Yeah, you just go high ground anyway.
Yeah,
Arcane
I mean,
an X or...
it's tough, but whatever. Gale Guard on the... A vast Gale Guard on Drow.
TP? Absolutely
BKB.
chilling. No defense by the
Oh, they got
barracks for the
the-
looks of it.
Ricky.
Ricky's gone, but it's Megas. And they didn't take a fight. Meanwhile, Vitali solo kills Hanzama over the other side.
Not yet, they need top barracks.
Oh, there is
Soon.
still one, okay.
It's
Oh,
gone.
bottom row. Static Storm. Right, now we got Megas. And that's going to be time to celebrate with a couple of kills under the heroes as well. Pike activates the BKB. No sun to target. Looks like TB will able to get some separation, but everyone else will not have the same fight. Edge just absolutely mopped the floor. This was a... Now I'm showcasing the true strength of this team. Debuted here in the qualifiers, and they're looking very good with what is about to be a 2-0 victory.
I mean, you might as well just play it out, right? But inevitably, the comeback will not be real in this one. You're just way too far behind Hurricane Pike, and that's it. I mean, if you want, you can go back on Edge. It's really dealer's choice here.
Do they go
Poke
back?
as much
Do we
as you want.
stay?
I mean, you just kind of hit, right? Until at least Kunkka's about to respawn. And then when Kunkka's almost up, that's when you maybe consider going back if you can't finish the throne. But EXO is up, so I think they will not have any issues.
now. Yep, no problems
Finishing.
at all. They can fight it, but also the EXO, he's actually taking a lot of damage here on PP. Does get the Spirit Siphon off for the last second. Tries to break it with the Pike.
He's not
People will
dead.
activate the BKB. He's fine for the moment. Vitali's looking for the roll-up. BSK, not kited. Trying to do whatever he can, hoping for the combo onto the Drow Ranger outside the base. Pike is pretty low. But the TP hasn't been able to enter because once again, Vitali is just chain controlling him. It didn't have the highest net worth this game for a long period of it, but Vitali was still able to...